Hello and welcome to the session on writing for web. Despite the technological changes, words certainly still matter. Because reading on the web is such a different experience than reading printed literature. It only makes sense that your techniques for web writing will also be different. Its users respond to it very differently from the way they respond to paper documents. Writing for the web is often writing to be found. People come to websites to satisfy goals, to do tasks, and to get answers to questions. They come for information, for the content. They don't read much, especially before they get to the page that has the information they want. Even on information pages, they skim and scan before they start to read. They want to read only enough to meet their needs. Think of the web as a conversation started by a busy web user. Answer people's questions throughout your web content, not only in sections called frequently asked questions or FAQs. Write so that busy people can grab the information they need quickly. There are 5 areas that an effective web writer should look at it approaching any web-based writing: audience and purpose, research and referencing, information structure, clear writing, and proofreading and editing. Audience and purpose. In web-based writing, you need to consider audience and purpose carefully. There are different levels of formality in written language, and this can be especially confusing in web-based writing because the range is very wide. Some social media writing is almost like speech that has just been written down. Other web writing, however, requires you to use objective, impersonal, and formal language. Familiarize yourself with the expectations of your specific web-based writing and only write when you're sure of your audience and purpose. Research and referencing. Sometimes the online or web environment and all the different technical features of this environment can cloud the area of research and referencing. When writing, it is always important to tell your reader or end user the source of any external information. You will still need to use an appropriate referencing system and to use this system consistently. Structure. Just as research and referencing is still important in web-based writing, so is the careful consideration of structure. Paragraphs, for example, should still address one main idea. Sentences should still be structured effectively, and your information overall should still be logically organized. In an online environment, users are set to scan rather than read information, so the use of headings, subheadings, graphics, and links is usually encouraged. Some general advice on structure. Accessibility is an important issue to consider. Is your writing easy on the eyes? What web features can you use to make your writing accessible to as many users as possible? Heading, subheadings, and links should have descriptive headings or labels. Don't just throw in a YouTube clip or image or anything really without explanation. Make good use of short paragraphs, lists, and bullet points. An inverted pyramid structure, putting the most important information first, is a common web write technique. Clear writing. In a web-based writing, sentences are often shorter than on paper. The active voice is common and plain. English is generally encouraged. Short sentences. Don't overdo it with short sentences though, or your writing will be too choppy and actually harder to read. Active voice. Use active voice in writing. Plain English. Use language easy to understand. Example, use familiar words where possible. Active voice. Short sections or sentences. Make verbs clear and leave out unnecessary words. Proofread and edit. Correct spelling, grammar, and referencing are all still important in web-based writing. Some additional elements can be used, such as the abbreviations used when texting or tweeting. Make sure your language is still inclusive and appropriate for your audience and purpose.